The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lecture hall hummed with the soft bioluminescence of its walls, casting gentle shadows across the assembled students. Professor Zithara, a crystalline being from the peaceful Luminar Collective, gestured with three of her appendages toward the holographic display showing various predator classifications. Anna sat in the back row, her human frame appearing deceptively small among the towering Krynathi warriors and the gas-form ethereals. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, and she wore the standard academy uniform, though hers seemed somehow more worn, more lived-in than the others. She'd been at the academy for 3 standard cycles now, and still, her classmates gave her a wide berth. Humans were rare in the galactic community. Earth, what the others called the Deathworld, had only been discovered 5 years ago. The planet's classification had sent shockwaves through the peaceful coalition of species. A world where the gravity could crush most sapient beings, where the atmosphere was corrosive with oxygen, where liquid water fell from the sky with enough force to injure, and where nearly everything that lived had evolved to kill something else. Anna didn't mind the isolation. She understood fear. David sat 3 rows ahead of her, his human shoulders relaxed in a way that suggested either confidence or indifference. Unlike Anna, who had come to the academy on a military scholarship, David was there as part of a cultural exchange program. He was an artist, a philosopher, someone who believed humanity's place in the stars was to show the galaxy that Deathworlders could be more than their planet of origin suggested. Anna thought that was naive, but she liked him anyway. The predator response, Professor Zithara was saying, her voice like wind chimes, is a physiological reaction found in only 3% of sapient species. When threatened, these species experience what we call aggression cascade, a temporary enhancement of physical capabilities accompanied by reduced cognitive function, and a sharp metallic sound cut through the air. The class fell silent. Every optical organ, eye, and sensory apparatus turned toward the source of the sound. Kelver stood in the middle aisle, his scaled hand clutching a ceremonial blade. The Ixthari student's crest was fully extended, displaying vibrant colors that, in his species, signaled a challenge to mortal combat. His 3 eyes were fixed on David. "Human," Kelver hissed, his translator rendering the word with obvious contempt. "You have dishonored my clan clutch with your words. I demand satisfaction." David turned slowly in his seat, his expression confused. "I'm sorry, what? I don't even know your name, man." "Your essay," Kelver's crest flared brighter. "Your comparative analysis of artistic expression across species. You claimed Ixthari ceremonial tapestries were derivative and lacked emotional depth." Oh, David blinked. "Yeah, I mean, that's just academic criticism. It wasn't personal. You insulted 3,000 years of my people's cultural heritage." The blade in Kelver's hand trembled. "I challenge you to honorable combat." Professor Zithara's form shifted nervously. "Students, please. Violence is not. We must contact security." But Kelver was already moving down the aisle toward David, the blade raised. The Ixthari were a proud warrior race, one of the few species in the galactic community with a martial tradition. They weren't Deathworlders, but they were dangerous. Most of the class scrambled away. The Luminar students phased partially out of the physical spectrum. The Krynathi, despite their size, backed toward the exits. They were herbivores after all, and conflict made them deeply uncomfortable. David stood up, raising his hands in a placating gesture. "Look, I'm sorry if I offended you. That wasn't my intention. Can we just—" Kelver lunged. Anna moved. She didn't think about it. Thinking was for academics, for philosophers, for people like David who believed words could solve everything. Anna was a soldier's daughter from Denver, raised at altitude even by Deathworld standards, trained in 3 martial arts before she was 12 because her mother believed that preparedness was love. She cleared the 2 rows between them in less than a second, her Deathworld muscles launching her over seats that took other species minutes to navigate. Her hand shot out and caught Kelver's wrist mid-thrust, stopping the blade centimeters from David's chest. Kelver's eyes widened. He pulled back, trying to free his weapon, but Anna's grip was unbreakable. The strength differential between a human and a Yxthari was considerable. Humans had evolved to hunt and fight in gravity wells that would liquefy most sapient beings. "Let go, Deathworlder," Kelver snarled, his free hand swinging toward her face. Anna smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator recognizing prey, the smile that humanity had perfected over millions of years of being both the hunter and the hunted. Her canines showed, those efficient, sharp teeth designed for rending meat. Her eyes, with their forward-facing binocular vision built for tracking prey, locked onto Kelver's with the unwavering focus of Earth's apex predator. She twisted his wrist, not violently, not with excessive force, just enough. The blade clattered to the floor. "No," Anna said quietly, her voice carried in the silent lecture hall. "You let go." Kelver tried to pull away, but Anna stepped closer inside his guard, her movements economical and precise. This was the thing that terrified other species about Deathworlders, not just the strength or the speed, but the efficiency. Humans had evolved to conserve energy because on Earth, wasting calories could mean death. Every movement had purpose. "You want to know about predator response, Professor?" Anna called out, not taking her eyes off Kelver. "The thing about humans is that we don't lose cognitive function when we're threatened. We get sharper, clearer. Our adrenaline doesn't make us stupid, it makes us better at killing." She could feel Kelver's pulse racing through his wrist. His crest had gone pale. "But here's the other thing about humans," Anna continued, her voice softening slightly. "We evolved as pack animals. We protect our own." She glanced at David. "Even the ones who write pretentious art criticism." "Hey," David protested weakly. Anna released Kelver's wrist and stepped back, giving him space. The Yxthari stumbled, cradling his arm. He looked at Anna with a mixture of fear and something else, respect, perhaps, or recognition. "Your people have a warrior tradition," Anna said to Kelver. "I respect that. But on my world, warriors know the difference between an enemy and someone who just disagrees with you." She kicked the blade toward him. It slid across the floor and stopped at his feet. "Next time you draw a weapon, make sure you're ready for what comes after." Kelver stared at the blade, then at Anna. Slowly, deliberately, he bent and picked it up. He sheathed it with shaking hands. I apologize," he said, his crest lowering in a gesture of submission. "I did not understand. I thought humans were soft because your David speaks of peace and beauty." "David speaks of peace and beauty because he can," Anna said, "because people like me make sure he's safe enough to do it." She looked around the lecture hall at all the watching students. "That's how humanity works. We've got philosophers and poets, sure, but we've also got people who will break your arm before you can blink if you threaten them." Professor Zithara's form had stabilized, though she still glowed with distress. I must report this incident. Security protocols." "It's handled, Professor," Anna said, her voice returning to its normal, casual tone. She helped David gather his scattered notes. "No blood, no harm, just a cultural misunderstanding." David looked at her, his expression complicated. "You didn't have to do that." "Yeah, I did," Anna shrugged. "You're my friend, that's what friends do." "By threatening to break someone's arm." "I didn't threaten anything, I just explained the situation." Anna grinned, a normal human grin this time without the predator edge. "Besides, I'm pretty sure I couldn't have actually broken his arm. Different bone structure, probably would have just dislocated it." David shook his head, but he was smiling too. "You're terrifying." "Thanks." As the class slowly resumed, the other students keeping an even wider berth around the two humans now, Kelver approached them. His crest was still lowered, but his bearing was different, not submissive, but respectful. "Human Anna," he said formally, I would learn from you. My people's warriors train for honor combat, but you train for something else. Survival, Anna said simply. On Earth, everything trains for survival. Yes, Kelver's central eye focused on her with new understanding. I begin to comprehend why the galactic community fears your world, not because you are violent, but because violence is so natural to you, so controlled. Anna considered this. We're not that different from you, Kelver. Your people have warriors, so do mine. The difference is that on Earth, everything is a warrior. The plants, the animals, the weather, the geology, all of it trying to kill you. We evolved to handle that. And now you're here among the stars, Professor Zithara said quietly. She had been listening, bringing that Deathworld nature with you. Not just the violence, though, David interjected. Also the art, the philosophy, the poetry, all of it forged in that same crucible. Anna nodded. That's the thing people don't get. We're not violent despite being able to create beauty. We create beauty because we're violent, because we know how fragile everything is, how easily it can be destroyed. She looked at Kelver. Your tapestries, they're beautiful because your people have never had to worry about tomorrow. Human art is desperate, raw, emotional, because we've spent our entire existence knowing that tomorrow might not come. The Ixthari was quiet for a long moment. Then he bowed, a deep, formal bow. I understand now. I still disagree with David's critique, but I understand it, and I apologize for my aggression. Apology accepted, David said. And for what it's worth, I'm willing to reconsider my analysis. Maybe I didn't have the right context. As Kelver returned to his seat, David turned to Anna. So, my Deathworld protector, what do I owe you? Anna grinned. Buy me coffee, the real stuff from the human section. None of that synthesized crap. Deal. Professor Zithara resumed her lecture, though Anna noticed the topic had quietly shifted away from predator responses. The other students still watched the two humans with wary eyes, but there was something else there now too, curiosity, perhaps, or the beginning of understanding. Anna settled back in her seat, content. This was humanity's challenge in the galaxy, to be both the warrior and the poet, the predator and the protector, to show the peaceful species of the galactic community that Deathworlders could be more than their origins suggested, while never forgetting what those origins had made them. She caught David's eye and smiled, a normal friendly smile this time. He smiled back, returning to his notes on comparative aesthetics. And in the back of the lecture hall, the Deathworld girl kept watch, ready to smile a different kind of smile if anyone else decided that words needed to be answered with blades. Because that was what humans did. They protected their pack, they adapted to any environment, and they never, ever forgot that they came from a world that had tried to kill them every single day and failed.